Hello and welcome to the Martin Yale 2021 Live Expo. I'm Bob Kersey, your product lead for the Element Series line of laminators. In our series of 3 videos, we'll be covering the choice of the laminator on fitting your project or the jobs you're doing, also the unboxing of it, the threading of the film. Then we'll get into this 27-inch and 40-inch line of the Element Series. So since we have so many viewers and we're kind of condensing this time-wise, I've already got one preheated up. This is our 40-inch Pro model. I've already loaded the lamination in. One of the benefits, 10-minute wait time to warm it up, which is excellent for a roll laminator, which we use through heat on our rollers, both top and bottom. And the benefit of that versus a heat shoe laminator, there's no marking or mars on your finished product of your lamination with the heated rollers. We'll kind of cover some of the safety features of it and also the features and benefit, including our 180-day parts and service warranty on it. I'll try to touch a little bit on the actual laminate because we have both dealers and consumers, new and old, to the laminating process, so we'll cover a little bit of that also. So first of all, laminate. So basically, I try to make it simple for you. Think of it as a sheet of plastic with an adhesive or glue on it. So your adhesive side is up away from the heated roller, both top and bottom. This is going to allow it to encapsulate your document, your certificate, or whatever project you're working on. So in mil thickness is the way the laminate comes in, whether it's 1 mil, 3 mil, 5 mil, 10 mil. This is the 40-inch Pro model. It'll go from 1 mil all the way up to 10 mil. Also can be used for boarding or mounting of your projects. The deluxe model or the Pro model also comes with a fan bank in the rear to cool those thicker projects you're working on without hurting the toner in your certificate or whatever it is you're laminating. Okay, so in mil thickness, then you also have quality of the laminate. So for instance, this is a 3 mil thick, 40 inches wide, but the lower end quality will have less of what we call the plastic and more of the adhesive. The higher end 3 mil film will have a thicker plastic, less adhesive, so it's still 3 mil film, but you're getting a better quality document, more rigidity on your finished product. Okay, so some of the features on this. That's our safety shield protecting what we like to call the nip of the rollers. That's where the 2 rollers contact and meet. That's where your project's going to go into. So our safety shield guarding that so you can't have access to that when it's on. A couple other things is the rollers are mechanically hooked together, basically, if you think of it that way. So, and we've made it in a feature so we can actually stall it, and when we do, both rollers stop. So one roller feeding in and the other roller pulling from the back. If one stops, both sets stop. That keeps from your document getting caught in the middle or curling around the other roller, and a wrap-up is what we call that, and then you're into 20 to 30 minutes to clear that wrap-up. So that's just another great feature there. Automatic off once it's turned on. After, if it's dormant or not in use for 2 hours, it'll automatically shut off. Rear switch in the back, so off and on behind here. And then also a digital keypad in the front. So when you first turn it on, it comes in cold at 32 degrees, speed of 5. You've got a quick set hot button that automatically sets it at 230 degrees. And then a cold button that'll turn the heaters back off. So a quick set hot button, and then I also want to digitally take the temperature up to about 276. As you can see, there's a speed feature to it. The longer you hold it, the faster it'll go up. There it is. We got it down. We got it up. And same thing for speed, up and down. Basically, 1 to 9 on the speed rating, 12 foot a minute is the max. Also the run feature that turns on the rollers, the stop feature, and then the measure button. What the measure does is we actually have a temperature reading in the rear that reads what the actual temperature of the rollers are. As you can see, I've had this one heating up. So even though I've got it set at 276, it can go up 15 degrees above, 15 degrees below, and that's the range it runs in while you're laminating. And then once again, reverse button for if you do get a jam, you can reverse it right out of that. And back to our forward button. Okay, now as far as lamination goes, as you can see, the adhesive on there is kind of a matte finish. As it comes onto the roller with that 360 degrees of heat in the roller, it's already bringing it up to temperature as it wraps around. Another benefit of using the through heaters on the rollers. Exit out of the rear. So one of the great things, we have the Dry-Lam cart also available through our martinyale.com. Or if you do have any questions or concerns, 1-888-202-5579 will be manning that live I'm going to try to cover it real quickly, but if I bring up something as far as a question or concern you have, dial in at that number and they can answer it for you. So back to the cart, when you're laminating, you want to be able to work on both sides of the laminator. I'm going to feed through the front, I'm going to swing around to the rear as my document exits out here. I've got my on-off in the rear, also here in the front. So working on both sides of it. The fan bank has its own on-off switch, so using that on the Pro models when you're going with thicker up to boarding onto 3/16 mounting board. Okay, I'm going to grab a couple little projects here. We'll show you real quick your basics of laminating. Try to stay off to the side here so you can see. I like to slide mine right in. So I've tried to select some things with a lot of toner. Set my speed. I'm going to run it at about 3. Run, feed in my materials. And that way you can see the cooling fans aid in so that you're not only going to get a great lamination and encapsulated, but it's not going to bubble or burn or discolor the toner on your print. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. So after all that hard work you did on your project, the last step is your lamination. And so like I think of it as the icing on the cake. So you've already put all that hard work and effort into baking that cake. The last thing you want to do is mess up with the icing. Another feature, horizontal trimmer on the Pro models. So one quick trim. There we have 3 separate projects all done in the same time as one. Okay, we'll kind of set that off to the side. Another thing with the Pro models is they will do 1-inch core and 3-inch core. So for you guys new to that, the 1-inch core is the interior of the laminate roll. So basically your mandrel slides into that. We demonstrated that before on the unpackaging and the loading of the film. So that's a 1-inch core. Laminate also comes in a 3-inch core. So you can still have the same footage, but the core is bigger. Okay, bigger diameter. So our Pro Series can handle 1-inch or 3-inch core. So it'll come packaged with 4 of the adapters that will slide on your mandrels. So it'll handle that 3-inch core laminate. Okay. Next, the question was raised, can you mount with it? Yes, we can. Up to 3/16 mounting board. We just fed through just a basic paper, so you're talking 3 millimeters. Now we're going to go up to 5/16 without adjusting anything. So the basic adjustments when you're laminating is your heat, your speed, your pressure, both roller pressure and the pressure on your laminate. So we've tried to simplify it. These come preset from the factory. We make them right here in Wabash, Indiana. We not only fabricate the parts for it, but assemble, run it, quality check it. We do that all right here in Wabash, Indiana. So preset on your laminate. The rollers are preset in the factory, the pressure on the rollers, but we've got a unique system to where we can go from a piece of paper to a 3/16 board without changing any of the pressure on the rollers or on the laminate. So the thing you do want to do is always preload. In other words, we want to gap that roller before our project goes in there. So we just use a threading card, and then we're going to have to put some pressure on here. I'm going to take the speed up a little bit. So right now our rollers are set. We want to put this threading card in there to preload it or open them up for our project we'll bring in. Okay? So I'm going to start that in there, feed it all the way through to the back rollers. Once again on the stop, with the mechanically hooked together front and back, I can stop the project right in the middle. It's still heating, but there's going to be no damage to it. Then we're going to bring our rest of our project in. I'm going to need gain a little space here in the rear. So as you can see, that 360-degree cart comes in handy there. So the little threading card, that allowed the rollers to stay gapped so we didn't pinch the edge of our project. As you can see with that 3/16 inch wide, it's encapsulating both sides of it, but the wrinkles here, they're only where your project is. That's normal. That's what you'll trim off. The fan bank, since we're using such a thick board that we're boarding on, you need the fan bank to cool that so that there's no damage, once again, to your project or the toner. And as you can see that coming out, see how that just clears right up? So now, little trick to your horizontal cutter, I just hold my laminate down with one finger, slides right across. There you go, nice mounted. All the color, all the toner's still there, a lot of clarity, that diamond clarity we call it. So we demonstrated laminating with just a normal project and then also mounting with the 3/16 mounted board. I'm going to slide this out of the way. Bring in another one of our new models. It's the WC 36-inch trimmer table. Perfect thing to finishing off your project. Well, we'll start with this right here. So all metal construction, the trimmer table. Trimmer, the premier trimmer with the grid green board. You've seen a lot of these. We're the world's manufacturer of the premier trimmers right here in Wabash, Indiana. Stumbled on that one a little bit, didn't I? So the trimmer table has a quick release table. That'll catch whatever off-fall you have on this side, but yet allows you to put it back down for ease and storage. Once again, 360-degree rollers on it, two lock mechanisms so you can lock it in place. So let's trim our project up a little bit. As you can see, that's the nice thing about the 36-inch model. It's taken 40 inches of laminate we're going to trim off here. Kind of sneak it up there a little bit. Pull it through. This was our leader board. So it goes from trimming the 3/16-inch board, and like I said, I won't trim it all out for you. I'll save time with that. And right back to grabbing our earlier project, feeding that through. So just that quick. You can finish out all the borders on your projects. Bring them right into ready to mount. Just reiterating once again, so the Element Series line, we've got both 27-inch and 40-inch, and basically that's the width of your roll or your project you want to use it for. So the 27-inch standard, deluxe, and pro models, and then also the 40-inch standard, deluxe, and pro models. If you do have any questions, 888-202-5579. We also do this in a kit form with the 40-inch, the Dry-Lam cart. We have a cleaning kit with it, and then the lamination. Remember, preserve and protect, made in the USA. This is what you need is the Element Series line. Thanks again.